Government agencies are undertaking an unprecedented period of IT and application modernization. Efforts to effectively collect, manage, and analyze vast volumes of data, combined with needing to operate securely in today's multi-cloud operating environment, has placed tremendous challenges on agency officials to manage IT modern initiatives. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and here to talk about that today is Barbara Cooper-Jones, Senior Vice President and CIO at Ginnie Mae, a part of the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Barbara, thank you so much for joining us. And let me start by asking, what are the biggest challenges you're facing in managing the rising volume of data, while also trying to make sure that data is more accessible to a broader range of stakeholders?
Absolutely. So certainly we do have challenges in managing data, but we try to do it in a very disciplined manner. One of the things that we are addressing is the data that we need to really integrate and augment our existing data. We need other agency data. In order for us to do that, we certainly have to have a memorandum of understanding of how we're going to use that shared data. They also will have to understand how we plan to use their data. So we do that, and we want to make sure that we have the legal authority to use their data in the way that we need to leverage that information. Another challenge we have is, I always think of data in its purest sense is not as meaningful as it needs to be. So we need to enrich that data so that it really is information that our executives and our constituents and our internal stakeholders can use to have greater insight, understand greater patterns, and understand other trends. So really enriching data so that it's information. And I think the last challenge is one that every organization continues to wrestle with, and that's under the umbrella of data quality and really data governance. And we continue to make investments there.
And then kind of a related point, how are you approaching the demands for data to move more freely and dynamically across cloud environments in and external to Ginnie Mae?
Yeah, well, the cloud certainly has presented an awesome opportunity for us, especially in the world of analytics. So we have a cloud center of excellence here at Ginnie Mae, and that group is made up of different practitioners around Ginnie Mae, some of our external partners that we need to help us in that area. And we look to them to help us make, good decisions in the cloud as it relates to areas of analytics and other areas of data that we need to explore. Of course, we have other guardrails in place to ensure that we're doing the right thing in our cloud environment. And even though I believe you said multi-cloud, we have a single cloud platform, but certainly multi-cloud, hybrid cloud for a lot of our other types of operations. And we have also many within our organization that really want self-service or self-analytics or want to be self-served by these analytics. And so we have programs in place to help with that. We've got a tremendous focus on data literacy. If you combine all of that with a lot of the visionary work we've done around analytics, I think ultimately that puts us in a good place. And that analytics vision really is all about having the right data to the right people at the right time.
Absolutely. And then I'd be remiss in not asking, where are you focusing your efforts to protect the security of all that data, again, moving between various systems in Ginnie Mae and then, to entities operating outside Ginnie Mae?
Yeah, we have a large ecosystem, and our ecosystem consists of a number of external parties, third parties, lenders and issuers that we need to obviously transact our business, help us support our business. And they have their own systems and they have their own data. But we have government rules and we have contractual requirements that we place upon them. They have to adhere to that. We have a continuous monitoring program. We have an IV&V program. These are all things that work collectively to ensure that we are doing the right thing with data, and they, as our data providers, are also doing the right thing with data. And so as we continue to enhance our cyber awareness and our cyber programs, we really look to those parties and a broader ecosystem to help us ensure that we meet those sets of requirements.
And then in light of how rapidly technology is changing, I have to imagine that's another challenge for you and your team. How are you trying to strike a balance between achieving economies of scale and yet preserving flexibility and choice as you move forward with IT modernization?
Yeah, quite a challenge, but one of the things that we are fostering and embracing in our business transformation journey is that of design flexibility, architectural design flexibility. The technology is so much better today than it certainly was decades ago when I was designing systems. And because this technology is so sophisticated today, it truly allows us to have greater design flexibility. And it is because of that, the balance of design and the balance of the best in breed technologies. This is where we're truly able to make those tremendous slides.
And as we wrap up, I'm curious to get your views on what you think the state of relations are these days between agencies and technology partners. Have they gotten stronger, those relations, and more productive? And what would help unlock greater value in those relations?
Yeah, well, Wyatt, I can only speak for my interactions with my providers and within my agency. I definitely don't want to speak beyond that. But my observation here is that we look to our providers, our external providers, as an extension of what we need to do and how we do things. And we engage them very, very early in the process. Our relations are, I think the relationships are strong. I'm proud of those relationships. I invest a lot of social capital into those relationships and those interactions. And I would say that those external service providers try to provide the same level of social interaction and social impact and capital. I think it is great. We tell our contractors, service providers, and strategic partners all the time, we understand that some of you are actually competitors of each other, and that is okay. But when you are in the walls of Ginnie Mae, there is no competition. You all can respectfully, leave your secret sauce where it needs to be. But when you are here, we are all working for the good of the taxpayer, and we must be united in how we do that. And I can tell you, I've never had an issue at all in working with them. I consider it an honor and a privilege because in the end, they know that their success is our success and our success is their success.
I think that's a very enlightened approach and probably evidence of why I think Ginnie Mae gets credit for doing a lot of things right with IT. So Barbara Cooper-Jones, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to share your insights with us and some of the things that you're doing in the way of best practices for IT modernization at Ginnie Mae.
Thank you so much, Wyatt. Have a good one.
You too.